There comes a time in your life when you start to look back and question everything, wondering what it was all for, how you got here. Was it all worth it? All those years I spent grinding a day job, trying to fit in, achieve more, do more. But then the wheel stopped. What I thought was important suddenly didn't feel so important after all. In fact, I felt it was slowly draining any spark of life I had left. I somehow fell into a mundane routine that was seemingly comfortable. Every day waking up, going to work, talking to the same people, dressing the part, doing what I was paid to do, come home to a relationship that felt just as empty, take whatever vices to help me sleep, and then repeat. Time had passed, and before I knew it, I was midway through life. When I was a kid, time moved slowly. It'd feel like forever before summer break would come, or Christmas. There were no responsibilities, no heavy stuff to carry. Life was uncomplicated. After going through a painful breakup years ago and making the radical decision to quit my corporate job, I was left with the raw parts of myself, and I didn't know what I was going to do next. All I knew is that I needed to make a big change, shake things up. I could feel it deep within my bones, within my heart, and that energy kept rising, knocking at my soul's door until I eventually listened and answered the call. And ever since, I've been on this wild adventure. It was 8 years ago when I shook things up, and my life has completely changed. I felt that nagging urge to declutter and simplify, so I did. In every way. I cleaned out not only my house, but started to drop everything else in my life that no longer felt right. I moved clear across the country to a place I had never been to before, started over, explored new ways to earn a living, did some deep work on the inner parts of myself, and eventually decided to build a homestead, a simpler life. And even though I quickly learned that the simple life I thought it would be wasn't actually as simple as it seemed, it did something else to me that I didn't expect. It lifted me out of that mundane fog I had been living under and threw me into a life that was now filled with constant change. I was now living in rhythm with nature. And nature is constantly changing. It moves. It's fluid. It flows. It's never fixed. Every day is different, and even though it can be challenging and brutally hard, it's a new way of living that has grabbed my heart and hasn't let go. I just want to briefly interrupt this video to share with you more about my herbal tea blends. I've been making them for years, learning more about plants and their amazing benefits on our body and mind. I believe in getting my nutrients from plants and food as much as possible, instead of taking supplements that usually have a lot of fillers in them. This is a great way to get your daily dose. But one of my most popular teas, Beam Me Up, is a tea that I make just for men. It boosts libido, treats erectile dysfunction, and is all around a great tea for regulating hormones like testosterone. You can find them all on my website, thenakedgardener.us. Thanks for your support. There is snow everywhere. It snowed overnight. So I did not get out into the garden last night to cover plants up. So I'm out here right now checking on this, checking on the garden. I mean, a lot of these plants that I put in are cold hardy, but of course, you know, they're young baby plants still. So obviously I do have some concern, and want to make sure that they're going to be okay. So I'm just kind of walking through and taking a look at everything because I did not anticipate this at all. When I woke up this morning and looked outside, and of course it's beautiful, one last snow, they say, at least, we'll see, but this is supposed to be one last snow, and wow, it just came unexpectedly. And yeah, I'm just trying to walk through, make sure everything in the garden is going to be okay, since I wasn't able to get out here and cover anything last night, because again, I thought that the temperatures were going to drop in a couple days, and I was planning to protect them in 20-degree weather, but not like this. So nothing was covered. The plants seem to be doing okay so far. You guys can see here some of the kale. Yeah, I mean, everything is just got a nice dusting. So one of the things I was most concerned about is my peach tree, because I'd already had some bulbs on it that were getting ready to bloom. And so I was a little nervous about that. I was planning already on covering that up. So I'm really going to have to do it. I'm gonna have to cover this thing up to at least protect it from the very, very cold temperatures that we're gonna have in a couple days, and get us through this final cold snap so that we can resume with the warmer spring weather. I'm in the greenhouse right now, getting my day started. It is in the morning and the sun is shining, but it is a little chilly. It's supposed to warm up to 65 degrees today, Fahrenheit. So I'm looking forward to that because this is going to be the first real warm day that we've had in a while. And I cannot wait to spend some time outside. And look at that. New sprouts happening already. So I started sunflowers, snapdragons, zinnias, cosmos, marigold. So I'm wanting to just explode in color in my cottage garden this year. I want a lot of flowers to spread throughout that entire garden bed. And so I'm growing a lot of flowers early so that I can transplant them early in the season. So it's a little breezy out today, so bear with me if it gets a little crazy in the audio, but I'm hardening off some plants now, so that way I can transplant some things. I have some zinnias as well right now. These are getting so big. I started them, I think, a little too early because ideally I don't want to really transplant them in the garden until I know that the frost has been, has passed. And we're still in the danger zone a little bit. And so I'm trying to be patient and wait to transplant these. And I'm wondering if I should even, repot them at this stage or not. I mean, I don't know. They're in a little bit of a larger pot, but not too big. And so I'm watching the bottom as well, just to kind of see if I see any signs of roots starting to kind of poke through. And I'm not just yet, so I might hold off a little bit. But I did plant some things in the garden yesterday. I'll show you guys here in a second, but I'm going to repot my rosemary because look at that, the bottom is starting to poke through quite a bit. So I need to get that planted. And then I also am going to be planting some meadowsweet. Look at that, same guys, roots. This geranium seems to still be doing okay. So yeah, I have a lot of different things here. I'm trying to grow cumin for the first time, and look, seeds have emerged and the plant is alive. So I'm excited about that. We'll see what happens. It's my first time trying to grow cumin. It's been 5 years since I started to build my gardens. And when I first started to build my fence, I used a chain link gate to keep the deer and rabbits out. But those gates were now falling apart. So I wanted to put in new gates, something that would look just as beautiful as the garden. I came across a photo of a garden gate that had a large circle shape, almost like a window or a portal into the garden. And I was inspired to design a door like that for mine. Only I'm not as skilled at woodworking to get that level of detail right. So I reached out to a local gardener and wild forager who happens to be a craftsman at woodworking.
Yeah.
I was so excited that he agreed to design my new garden gates, and what I received far surpassed my expectations.
Wir sind des Geiers schwarze Haufen, Eiaho, und wollen mit Tyrannen raufen, Eiaho. Voran, drauf und dran, setzt das Kloster dort den roten an. Spieß voran, drauf und dran, setzt das Kloster dort den roten Hahn. The troops of Geyer dressed in black are we, Hi-ho, we'll fight to end all tyranny, Hi-ho. Stimmen ho, on we go, on the castle roof let the red patrol.
So this is a special moment. You guys get to see the garden gates and the little special visitor that showed up on its doorstep. But this is the new gate that was constructed by someone locally that I know. And he does a little bit of everything. This guy, he not only manages his own gardens, he's a forager, wild forager. He knows so much about different plants, about wood, working with wood. He does beautiful craftsmanship. This was something that I had been wanting to get built for a long time. And I was inspired by a photo that I came across of the circular shape along the top of the garden gate. And I really wanted something inspired by that because you guys know I have a lot of shape in my garden. I'm really big on that. So I have a lot of the round garden beds. And then I also have my moon arbor. I have my pyramid obelisk. I have a variety of different other little things in here. And so I really wanted to incorporate more of that circular shape, which of course to me is very symbolic of not only, of course, the sun, which I know a lot of people that see it typically think of something like that. The circular shape is all about representing the circle, the cyclical nature, the cycle of the seasons, the cycle of our bodies, of our planet, of our world, this realm that we're in. Everything is very cyclical. And so I really wanted to incorporate that. That's why, of course, I also have the spiral rock herb garden in my garden as well that I built last year. So there's a lot of meaning behind a lot of this. This is not just things that I put here just because I love the way it looks, but which of course I do. It's beautiful to look at. And this is made with sassafras, local milled sassafras wood. So that's really exciting. He did a lot of weaving throughout here with oak strips. So there's some weaving done. And I'm really, really thrilled with how they turned out. I had to try and critter proof them. And you can see this little guy was trying to find some shelter, get into the garden, and probably get some food. And wasn't able to necessarily get in because it is now critter proof. I laid down these stones these paver stones, and then I also put a little bit of mesh here, right where the hinge is on the door, just to make sure that nothing could get through that space as well. So obviously this little guy trying to get in wasn't able to. So I think that it worked.
Oh, the guys men their bows and arrows shoot, onward they go. Their flag displays a peasant's boot to stand out the foe. Spin and hoe, on we go, on the castle roof let the red cock crow. For we know our cause is right. Our sons will carry on the fight. Spin and hoe, onward go, on the castle roof let the red cock crow. Spieß voran, drauf und dran, setzt das große Dach den roten Hahn.
The garden is beginning to take shape and look magical as spring settles in. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like in a few weeks. Everything changes so quickly in spring. Even the trees are already speckled with green. Over the next couple weeks, I'll be planting more seeds and will soon be able to transplant my warm weather plants like peppers and sunflowers and begin to harvest asparagus. The warm weather looks like it's here to stay, which makes me want to stay outside more. We already had our first open fire cook, and I'll be putting the final touches on the outdoor kitchen too. It's the perfect time before it gets too buggy and hot, so I think I'll put up the tent for some outdoor sleeping as well.
I'm trying to eat here.
Stop, go away.
I'm trying to eat here, okay? Please. Thank you.
The spring energy has been infectious, making me want to dig into all kinds of projects and continue to make this land even more beautiful. I have a lot more to do in the coming weeks and will share more soon, but for now, I'm enjoying every moment, letting the new season wash over me as I watch this land transform.